Okay. Yeah. So recording started. So guys, yeah, let me quickly brief about you. So we are actually building one open source project, which is a kind of background or domain is Matrimony, but it is like a Shopify for matrimony. So far, it's like we for temporary we named it as a Humsafar, but it's a temporary name. So basically, I believe everyone, not everyone, but most of the people are aware about matrimony apps. It's not like a dating app, but it's a matrimony app where people find out the life partner with the concern of like marriage, with the intention of marriage, basically. So again, in India, there are four products are like Shadi.com, Jeevan Sati, Bharat Matrimony, or maybe Better Half. Like, so these are the top five, four, five apps in the right now in the market. So we are building something similar, but again, where we are building a B2B product, where the other, in India or even in other countries, there are so many local matrimonies are there. In every caste, in every religion, there are local matrimony portals. So they have their own apps or their website, or even they are using WhatsApp or Facebook groups. So we are actually addressing that gap through our project. So that is a brief about it. We have the dog. You can find all the relevant links in our video descriptions or in our group description. So far we have discussed what kind of architecture we can use in the last meeting, what kind of wrappers we need to use, so all these things. Could you please quickly thumbs up or raise hand who already been there in last two sessions or since starting? Yep. And few of the people I think I joined first time. Cool guys, we have again recordings and again you find the playlist link. You can go through it once quickly once you get a time to know the context better in detail. But the quick summary is like we just finalizing कि कौन से आर्किटेक्चर पैटर्न्स यूज करने हैं, कौन से फ्रेमवर्क्स लाइक टेस्टिंग फ्रेमवर्क, डेटाबेस, even like core data, Swift data, and all that thing. So we are just actually discussing those parts. Today, I want to quickly update you regarding the backend part and UI UX. So backend, mein, again, we are building team right now. We are into this design and architect phase. So it takes some time. So most probably coming week we start backend first, the actual backend development, and eventually we'll start getting the APIs in the coming weeks. Meantime, again, we can start the work, not a problem. It's not like we need to wait till the backend get ready. Or again, in the last meeting, I have mentioned this timeline. We are planning the kick off the actual development PRs in iOS in coming 2 weeks. So this I mentioned the last week basically. So we are planning like next week. Basically, today's Friday, 15th August. So we are planning around 24th August basically. So somewhere like in the next week, you can say we still have 7 to 8 days. So in this 7 to 8 days, we are hoping that we'll get the UI UX design and also backend somewhat finalized and they start working on the API part. So eventually we will start. So what we can do, जब तक हमें designs नहीं मिल जाते हैं, as soon as like so far when like until unless we didn't get the designs, what we can do, we can work on the structure part and all core IO stuff part. So basically it's like you know setting up the architecture wise folder structure, setting up the wrappers, setting up some basic component codes, and also like network wrapper, API calling part, like again, wrapper part. Okay, and again you can say like well, all those you can say where actually you're not touching the UI part, but again the functionality part, the API calling part, all that wrappers part we can do, or even architecture design pattern wise, we can set up the things. Once we get the design, then actual implementation of UI part we'll start with it. So it's like that. So we are again at today's Friday. On the Sunday itself, and the next 2 days again, I need your voluntary help as well for this. You should contribute in this. कि हम लोगों को setup करना है. तो suppose we अभी again I will let you know which would be the major architecture pattern in this. So which we discussed previously. What because this is project is purely for learning purpose. Okay. तो अभी क्या होता है कि इंटरव्यू में people ask you multiple patterns. People even interviewer will asking you like MVVM also. Also they're asking Viper or also like clean architecture, TCA, all that thing. So what we are deciding which one would be the best, we'll go with that as a majorly. So suppose take an example, we have total 10 module or 10 features in the project. So out of 10, around 6 to 7, but the 70% project is like in the main one major architecture. For take an example, it's like MVVM or maybe Viper. So 70% project is in Viper, and then few of the one feature will implement in other architecture, like again which are remaining one, which is clean TCA or whatever which is remaining MVVM with some extra components and layers. So it's like that. So that one major first we finalize, which again we haven't taken a final call. But yeah, you guys can also do your R&D because this project purely in SwiftUI. In some cases, or where actually UI kit is required, which is somewhat not feasible in its issue. There are some cases which is not feasible, which are not feasible in UI kit. Sorry, not feasible in SwiftUI. Or there are some cases where SwiftUI is not that optimum performance wise. In those cases only, we actually going to uh, do implementation in UI kit or using a UI kit. So apart from that, so basically you can say around 90% or more than 90% project is in SwiftUI, hardly 5 to 10% in UI kit. So you need to think कि आपको ये देखना है कि which would be the best architecture pattern and design patterns we should use with SwiftUI, what our Apple is recommending, what our other people are talking about on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Google, or on even in any other platform. And also we need to use our common sense as well, or our understanding of design and architecture patterns, which would be the best in our case. So again, you can do your own R&D, and we will finalize this decision by tomorrow or by the day after tomorrow for at max, so that then we start setting up our GitHub repo with a basic template of code of architecture pattern, design patterns, and you start building at least view model part, models part, and all those part. You will also get a basic API offline responses, so you can start with the offline implementation with the project. Okay, and again, the UI UX design will take some time, but eventually we can start work. Whichever there is no dependency of UI, those parts or components we can start working on it. Hope this sounds good. Anyone, any questions on this, or you can thumbs up once if you are okay with this. This is making sense. Yeah, everyone, anyone. देखो basically again I hope everyone know कि भाई GitHub is really very important and crucial thing for any software engineer. तो ये इसके पीछे मेजर इंटेंशन है कि हम लोग एक प्रोजेक्ट बना रहे हैं टू बिल्ड आवर पोर्टफोलियो, टू बिल्ड आवर प्रोफाइल मोर अपीलिंग, और उसको हम लोग अपने गेटअप और अपने लिंक्डइन पे शोकेस कर पाए, उसी के लिए ये कर रहे हैं हम. तो एक तो शोकेस वाला चीज है जिससे वी इवेंचुअली गेट मोर अपॉर्चुनिटीज इन प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड कंपनीज, एंड सेकंड कि हमारी लर्निंग बहुत हो जाएगी. तो ये दोनों की इंटेंशन के साथ वी आर बिल्डिंग दिस, क्योंकि व्हाट हैपेंस राइट नाउ डेज इन आवर कंपनीज प्रोजेक्ट और इन आवर करंट प्रोजेक्ट व्हिच आर either we are working for a company or a freelancing or maybe our own product, there we actually didn't get a chance to explore all the patterns to all the concepts which are actually asking in interviews or which are recommended by Apple, but we are not using here. We are using something else here, either some legacy parts, some patterns which are not that recommended, but still using it because the old project is there and they're still following the same. Or in some of the companies they are still using UI kit, they're not using SwiftUI. So to address all this pain point and concern, we are building our own project from scratch like a production app, and this is going to be in production. Okay, we'll make sure this product should be the best of the best product. The code wise, we have clean code, proper coding reviews like we do in our companies, minimum two approval wala kind of rule. So all those things or process we are going to follow, which actually followed kind of in the product based companies. So obviously you also, while you're developing, make sure you're doing your best, you're following all the guidelines, and think about it, this product is going to be used by millions of users in future. So don't consider as a dummy project or as a sample project. It's not a sample or dummy project. Okay, so Madipta, when the first project is going to be completed? No, okay, this is the main project. What is first, second? It's not like that. We are planning one more project soon, but we eventually, it will take some time. So right now only there is one project in the pipeline, which is this project, which we actually our whole focus on this project only. So our UI UX team, backend team, front end, even we are planning with the Android and backend team. So Android team also will join soon. But again, we are pure iOS people, so our first priority of iOS. So for iOS, again, we need obviously backend we need to work on our project. So backend team we are actually working on, and with the UI UX as well. So we are planning the timeline maybe mostly 3 months for MVP. So roughly I can say you example of like we are starting like by 24th August. So September, October, November. So by the end of the November, at least first MVP should get ready. So yeah, and we can easily build because I feel so many active people want to contribute in this. So if really people actively contribute and we also like pretty serious about it, then we can easily ready like the MVP in the first 3 months itself. Not a big deal. You will get also one more thing. You will get proper detailed like GitHub project issues. It's like a tool for a project management. I hope you know about it or heard about it. It's like similar to Jira. I hope Jira everyone know Jira for task and story project management kind of thing, right? It's similar to that. Okay, so you will get everything. You already most of the people are joined iOS Labs as an organization member. Those who haven't joined, I will again actually share one form which I was about to share. So there is one form is coming, one Google form kind of for the community purpose. There you can fill all the details. So you will get an invitation basically. Okay, I know most of the new people haven't filled that form. Even we have one previous form is there, but मैं अभी एक नया form लाऊंगा. So everyone should have a fresh data there. उसमें कुछ ऐसी fields होंगी जो मैं और भी अभी referral और job opening portal के लिए काम आएंगी. तो वहां पे everything is mentioned in detail. You need to make sure कि please take out your 2 to 3 minutes of time and fill it thoroughly. वो data actually use आएगा हम लोगों को to get you मतलब हम लोग we can provide you job referrals, freelancing leads, and these other cool stuff, whatever it is. So make sure the form mostly you will get tomorrow itself, and please fill that form. Okay. So you get your GitHub invitations, you get in LinkedIn again, or everything will be there. Okay, you can showcase these things over LinkedIn, you can showcase these things over GitHub. Cool, sounds good. Makes sense. So yeah, anyone has any questions? Please feel free to ask anyone. So today I found people are so anyone not saying anything. It just कोई कुछ कहना चाहेगा प्लीज. कहाँ है सब लोग? इतनी शांति की हुई है भाई आज. उज़ैर, शगराफ, दिलशाद.
Hi,
Any
Kushal.
question? Yeah, hi.
Nothing as such because most of the things we already have cleared up.
Yeah.
So
Any suggestion, any inputs? कुछ भी आपको ऐसा लग रहा है कि okay, कुशल, that we can do or that we should not do, something like that, anything?
no, as of now I don't have anything. अभी कुछ आया नहीं है, but yeah,
Cool,
the
cool.
query, most of the queries which we usually ask in the group, so वहाँ पे clarification मिल ही जाता है.
बता दूं, we still haven't created a separate group for this open source discussion. So वो हम प्लान कर रहे हैं. अगेन ओपन सोर्स प्रोजेक्ट रिलेटेड जो भी काम होगा वो एक्चुअली डेवलपमेंट वाइज वर्क है. तो वी आर प्लानिंग टू मूव दैट थिंग एंटायरली ऑन स्लैक और डिस्कॉर्ड. So we have one Discord server ready, and also we are comparing with Slack. So Slack is basically paid, so we are trying to go with the free one initially. So let's see. So mostly we'll go to the Discord. तो वहां पे तो क्योंकि देखो आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग कि normal people normally they are not active on Discord or Slack, but if you are involving in the open source, then that is expected with you from you, right? तो वो वाला सारा चीज हम लोग अपना उधर शिफ्ट करेंगे Discord सर्वर पे फॉर कम्युनिकेशन लाइक वी डू इन कंपनी अवर, राइट? टीम्स पे या स्लैक पे जो हम करते हैं ऑल दैट स्टफ. तो वो भी आपको मैं मोस्टली कल ही आई विल शेयर यू द लिंक एंड देयर यू कैन ज्वाइन आवर होल iOS लैब का कम्युनिटी. वहां पे हम होस्ट करेंगे फॉर ओनली ओपन सोर्स प्रोजेक्ट वाला थिंग. बाकी व्हाट्सएप पे जो चल रहा है वो चलता रहेगा क्योंकि आई नो कि अगेन पीपल नॉट दैट एक्टिव as compared to WhatsApp. But yeah, purely development wise is fine. But for other updates, other interactions, it is better right now over WhatsApp. But soon we'll making some balance out in between the two platforms. Yeah, cool. तो यही चीजें मुझे आपको कन्वे करनी थी. कोई और फीडबैक है एनीवन? तो प्लीज लेट मी नो. जो लोग अभी फर्स्ट टाइम इंटरेक्ट कर रहे हैं, मेक श्योर पिछले 2 मीटिंग्स को यू कैन गो थ्रू इट. यू विल फाइंड द लिंक्स इन द ग्रुप डिस्क्रिप्शन. And you can again go on YouTube, find the iOS Lab YouTube channel. There also you get all the videos and playlists. You can find it out, right? You can check it out. हाँ राहुल, एक्चुअली ये इस पर हम आने वाले हैं. तो एक फॉर्म जो आएगा उसमें एक ये रहेगा आपकी अवेलेबिलिटी. तो हाउ मच आवर्स यू कैन कंट्रीब्यूट, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ सीनियरिटी लेवल you have, what kind of previous experience. Accordingly that, and based on your interest, your availability, your time, and how many hours you can contribute. ये सारी चीजों के बेसिस पे हम लोग थोड़ा सा डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे इनिशियली. फिर एक्चुअली अगेन वी ऑब्जर्व गोइंग, मतलब वी आर गोइंग टू ऑब्जर्व कि how much active you are right now, how much serious you are in this kind of initiative. Accordingly, that we'll make some sub feature wise module leads, tech leads kind of thing like we have in companies, and then we are going to manage the whole thing. So Rakesh, yeah, we are going to set a repo by this Sunday end of the day, by this weekend. So that I again mentioned recently, we are planning to set up repo by weekend. Also, we are setting up some a structure sample project in that itself. So you can start with that. Cool.
Kushal, Naren here.
Yes.
I have one thing. So you said it's gonna be open source.
Yes.
So I mean, it's gonna be open to hosting as well. Like where you're gonna host it?
For hosting backend part, you see?
Yeah, or the repositories.
Repository, yeah. See, like we have one open repository under iOS Labs, तो वो open रहेगा और बाकी आप लोग अपने अकाउंट से contribute करोगे.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Dilshad, you have any question? Yes. Dilshad, आपने raise hand किया. Dilshad, you have anything? You are on mute. Sorry, you are not audible. Some issue may be there. Cool. और कोई question किसी का? Anyone?
Hi sir.
Yeah, hi Shigraf.
सर ऐसा कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं है बट सिर्फ मैं चीज सोच रही थी, समझ में नहीं आया. जैसे हम लोगों का सब डिफरेंट लेवल पर है स्किल्स वाइज और एक्सपीरियंस वाइज ना.
Yes.
तो आप टास्क जैसे फिर हम लोग को किस तरह से किस बेस पे असाइन करेंगे?
मैं बता देता हूँ आपको. अभी मैं जिस कंपनी में काम करता हूँ और मैं पहले भी जिन जिन कंपनीज में काम किया है अभी तक, तो वहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं होता है. जैसे मैं एग्जांपल के लिए देयर आर लॉट ऑफ डेवलपर्स ऑन द फ्लोर. Around, I can give you roughly example like 60 developers, okay, in my current company. 60 iOS engineers, I'm saying. I'm not counting Android front and back end. So out of 60 iOS engineers, they are distributed in 15 teams, 4 people in every feature teams, okay. And there is no kind of factor on like how much experience you have, okay. All are like a senior software engineers or all are iOS engineers basically. So either you are 2-year experience or you are a 10-year experience. But this kind of work everyone can do, right? If I give you one screen to develop in SwiftUI with the API calling, you can do also with a great quality, and some other person can also do, which having more than like 3 or 4 times years of experience with you as compared to, right? So it's not like that. But yeah, we are going to have some tech leads or your project lead kind of. That will be obviously kind of most probably that seniors will be, because those have more maturity and more technical expertise. They are going to make sure the things are going on like properly following the guidelines, and they will review your codes and they will guide you as well. But yeah, as far as development is concerned, there is no filter as such. So in companies we do like that only, like so. Yeah, cool, makes sense. Yeah. So here I can say you the 70-80% audience are even we will give one poll also in the group, then you can realize okay, what kind of audience we have right now. So far as I know personally, the audience are mostly senior software engineers here. So they are actually mostly people are 5+ year experience or 8-year or even 10-year audience. So mostly the people are more senior side, and junior audience is very less, like less than 3 or 2-year audience is very less, or fresher very very rare, like actually in our group. So we'll take one survey, but again that doesn't matter. We are assuming the same quality with everyone, and you can have that quality, or eventually you will build that quality as well. So yeah. Cool, thanks, makes sense. Dilshad, we should start working on solutioning that will help in creating UI UX. Dilshad, what do you mean by this point? Could you please elaborate? I didn't get you. Didn't get your point.
Hello, am I audible now?
Yeah, yes, Dilshad, tell me.
I just wanted to say that what features that we are going to have. So we should at least start documenting kind of a PRD or
yeah. We already have one basic PRD, The first draft which I already shared initially
Okay.
in the group.
Also, sometimes
Yeah.
many of us may face that when we just go to explain any of the feature, we just lag sometimes in communicating the technical things. So
Yeah.
it would be better that we also add a platform over here that if we are going to build something, so that we can explain better way. So that will also help us in uh,
Absolutely,
for our
absolutely.
communication skills, kind of
So
presentation. Yeah.
yeah, sure. This kind of things we can plan. A good suggestion, Dilshad. So yeah, this kind of things we can plan. We can. Yeah.
Mm.
So see, guys, you will get a more detailed PRD docs. That was the first initial draft. You eventually get detailed doc, or even I said key, you will get like GitHub issues for project management. So there, everything detailed it is mentioned, and tasks are like subtask and the which we do like in companies again. One big task, small task, and with proper details. And that task you will get eventually to develop. So take an example, you get a task like to build login flow, login screen. Then again in login screen, if there are some again big components are there, or it's if work is more, we can again divide into two parts. Like then you get that thing basically. So yeah, based on again as we do in the project management in our day-to-day project basis, that way only you will get the whole proper story, task, and everything in detail. So accordingly, that you need to build your or need to work on it basically. Even we are going to have some POC task. We are going to have some architecture design task, code wise. I'm saying design architecture pattern wise, wrapper wise initially. So that task also you need to like assign yourself, and you can start work on it, and you can raise a PR for the same. Deepak saying you can use H26. It had ChatGPT integration, or share your project link here and make it public. Okay, we'll see. Like I need to check, Deepak. You're saying from GitHub perspective, Deepak. Could you please in what context? Deep GitHub. Okay, cool. I will look into this. The this one ChatGPT wala thing. So even if you see right now in Xcode latest, if you have your personal MacBook or even Office MacBook, if in Office wala to because they have their rules key we want to upgrade or not. But if it is allowed or you can, then you can try it out that feature. In the latest MacBook and Xcode version, we have this feature. AI is integrated already. Okay, so I would recommend ki you use your AI in Xcode itself rather than on GitHub. Okay, makes sense. You can try it out once. Then I hope maybe you delete it.
Kushal, in that perspective, actually, GitHub has a Copilot also, which can also be
Yeah.
integrated with Xcode, the older version, not the iOS
About
version,
in
Xcode
that
26.
yeah, I'm talking about in that context only. So in Xcode itself, you have a AI stuff. Whether you can integrate ChatGPT, you can integrate your GitHub Copilot. We're already doing in our companies as well. Or most of the companies are doing right now. So yeah.
Yes, it's not that it's quite useful, but not
See,
like
I
Xcode.
would not recommend this. I would not recommend this initially to use it.
True.
See, we are doing all these things for our learning. So it's not about you want to just
Finish it
finish
up.
the yeah.
True.
It's not like that, right? You will miss your learning basically if you go into AI part. So I
Correct.
would highly recommend to exactly. So I would highly not recommend this thing. I would highly recommend to go with start from scratch. Assume no AI is there, no GitHub Copilot, no nothing, no Apple Intelligence. Only pure. You can go matlab, for learning purpose. Really, it will affect your learning or your conceptual understanding. So I would highly not recommend to use all these things. Deepak, does that make sense? I think so. Don't go with all these stuff. Eventually, later on, you can explore on your own. But again, I would not recommend all these stuff. Even I am not using anything like this in day to day, and I would not recommend you because again, it basically affects your learning. So yeah. Thyro saying, are we planning to use CI/CD? Yes, we are planning to use CI/CD. So initially, it is not required as such. Once we get into some basic at a decent level, then obviously CI/CD is required. We are going to write test cases. So on every PRMR, sorry, like on every PR or on every change of code, these pipelines get triggered and CI/CD pipelines. and all the test cases are run, and then eventually once it's passed and the code is reviewed and minimum approval like by two your peer developer or senior developers, then your code will get merged. Again, like we do in our companies, similar like for process we are going to follow. Cool. We also going to have QA teams. So once you're kind of see example clearly again one feature, if you developed it properly from your end, you have done your dev testing, like your developer testing from your end. Then we have some QA team as well. They are going to again automate the testing. We going to have automation, manual testing both, and then so we need to make sure the bug should not be there. If something is coming, we can quickly raise it and fix it. So yeah. Yes, Uzair, you have something? Tell me.
Yes, we haven't decided yet, right, for the backend, which approach we are going to use, or has it been decided?
This weekend we are going to finalize today and tomorrow. Sorry, tomorrow and or day after tomorrow. So we are still into it that GraphQL versus REST API and SQL versus NoSQL. Anyone right now, any point you can discuss this thing right now as well if you have any.
I just wanted to understand, with respect of iOS development, as in which third-party tool you recommend to use, as in from iOS perspective. Like I have used Apollo Client, but is there any better than Apollo Client?
No, see, Uzair, even I've used SQL, GraphQL, sorry, hardly in one of my project, which even I don't remember what third party they are using. It was my initial day of first project, kind of you can say in my journey. But yeah, I need to look into this part. I'm not sure right now for this.
Yeah.
Whoever worked recently on GraphQL, they can add on this.
I have been working in current company, but it's just that I feel that GraphQL with the Apollo client is not that.
Like they have shared you some options, right? In
Yes,
iOS,
yes.
also there are multiple options, like 3-4 options.
Yeah, three
So we
options.
can
options
check
yeah.
the options, we can compare, and then we can take a final call which GraphQL client we should use in iOS.
Sure.
Cool, makes sense. So again, first I'm checking actually with the backend team. So what I found, key for few contexts, I hope you guys go through that doc, GraphQL versus REST API. So in few cases, people are recommending GraphQL, and in some cases they are recommending REST API. So we can use the combination of both, like in the backend side. So same like on the front end side, we need to implement the APIs accordingly. So it's a good for learning, I think, because most of the people use REST API only. So for GraphQL, it's a good for learning. I'm excited. I want to use for learning purpose as well. And if it is really recommended for to make the product better performance, then I think we should go for it. Like so. And I found many companies are using GraphQL. It's not very rare. The companies are using in those cases in which GraphQL works pretty well as compared to REST API. So yeah. So we
Hi,
eventually
Kushal.
involve. Yeah, just a minute. We eventually involving the backend team over this weekend, and we're going to discuss these things with the backend guys. So they are like senior backend engineers. So they will also share their inputs. Key what is recommended in your context in your Matrimony app, which in our project basically key REST API versus GraphQL and SQL versus NoSQL kind of thing. Yes, Kushal.
Have we decided on the backend part which tech stack we are using? Not
Not
decided.
yet. Yeah.
Okay.
I found from the poll and survey wise, people are more inclined to Swift as a backend, which I'm not promoting right now here. We want to go with some which is actually reliable backend tech stack. So if you guys really want to learn backend or want to explore, I would recommend go with proper backend technology rather than going Swift as a backend. Just if you're iOS people, so you're recommending Swift. I don't feel as of now we should go with Swift as a backend. So for learning purpose, you want to explore, you can. But in this project, major tech stack, either it would be Node.js or Python Fast API. These two are the major two we are thinking. So we have again one roughly doc on this. I already shared with you guys. You can check it out. And again, I'm taking the inputs from the backend people. So let's see what their recommendations. And there are some plus minus of both the tech stacks like Python Fast API and Node.js. So let's see. We'll finalize this again over this weekend, and then we can start the backend development as well. So if you guys again, we have backend labs group. I think more than 100 people are there. You guys also there in backend labs. So you guys can also contribute in the backend development if you really want to learn and if you want to really want to build APIs as well. So you can like.
Could you add me in that backend lab?
Let me share the link again in the group. You guys can then request and join the same.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks. Cool. I think so far good. Anything else? Otherwise, we can wrap up now. We'll have again the next meeting over this weekend, Sunday, with these decisions, whatever we findings we have in the coming 2 days. So Sunday evening we can connect. I will let you know the exact timing, Sunday evening or afternoon. Also, we're planning our next session of Combine, which also going to be on Sunday. So yeah, please again, whoever attended the sessions, I would again request you on your end at least start learning the Combine, because in our project also we're going to use Combine. So it would be great if you guys can learn yourself a bit, the basics, explore it, go through some article videos, and then let's come to the session and let's deep dive into the Combine part. Okay. And yep, I'm really excited. I really thankful for everyone, those who are showing your interest. I really hope that this would be one of the great project ever, and with proper great learnings we have, and all we can like build something amazing. So yeah, thanks everyone, and see you on Sunday. Yeah. Yes,
One question. In a backend lab, do we have experienced backend developer or just
Yes.
enthusiastic ICE developer only?
No. We have backend team as well. Those who contribute.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's
whatever.
just like we are out of our hobby and interest, we are involving in the backend. So that is allowed if you want to be a part of backend team as well. But we have core backend people, those who actually review our code or guide us to actually build the APIs.
Yeah,
So,
correct. So just
yeah.
intent was so that whatever decision discussion conclude between that node or GraphQL or anything text get, that I would like to understand why and what reason we are concluding that.
We are planning on meeting with backend guys. So I will share you the meeting in the backend labs group. There you can join that meeting and you can also like involve in that discussion. You can be a part of that. Yeah.
Sure. Please share invite in a common group so I can able to join.
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, thank you everyone to join on Friday, and again happy Independence Day everyone, and see you on Sunday. So yeah, thank you. Good night. Take care.